Bunny ba 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 do 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 do. Bunny ba 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 do do ba da ba. Bunny ba 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 do 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 do. Hello everybody, ScotMaiar here, and welcome back to The Letter. When we last left off, Lady Hannah Wright was getting particularly flirty with our good friend Zach. And now, this is the perfect scenario for a ghost to show herself. Where are we here? Huh, that's strange, we took both routes. Okay, okay, so that. Okay, choices, that's gonna lead to that and that. Okay. Just so I know, for a moment I thought the electric work is not up to par. But that clearly is not the case if every single room is bright with the artificial light. Finding the light switch is a monumental task, considering the size of my unfamiliarity with the room. Oh, hi, Mark. To make matters worse, the darkness grants a room a different atmosphere. Eerie and frightening. Perfect time for a ghost to come out. It takes longer than I thought to find the switch. Something that will have to be rectified later on. My skin starts to prickle, and there's a distant feeling of being watched. Oh ho, oh ho, oh ho, I always feel like somebody's watching me. When I do open the lights, there's a hiss.
I'll turn the lights down, woman!
Goodness sakes. Of course it's the husband. What is he drinking? Hopefully it's not something acid, like an alcoholic or something. There at the end of the hall is my beloved husband with his face in one hand and a glass in the other. Perhaps I can let it go, if it's only one glass of grape wine. Ding! However, I can feel myself go livid after seeing the toxic green liquid gleam mockingly at me. It's like some kind of cartoon liquid or something. Oh, it's got sugar too. Nice spoon, by the way. It's kind of like that spoon from Nightmare Before Christmas that Sally uses to trick the professor to think she's drinking from the soup.
Luke, what? Are you drinking absinthe?
Absinthe. No wonder he was absent from the meal.
You know what the doctor said. Absinthe, Luke.
Looks like he was absent from the doctor.
Are you actively trying to kill yourself? Because if you are, we can just hit you with a bloody car.
Honeybee, Buttercup, not too loud, please. Besides, it's Lelouch, not too strong. Just hair of the dog that bit me.
He sounds drunk.
Helps with the hangover, dearest.
You drank? When?
This morning, love. Don't be mad.
I'm rich swine. It's my profession.
I just needed a few drinks, having to deal with those simpletons.
Simpletons, those peasants.
And maybe I had one too much. You don't see me whinging about you leaving me to handle them on my own.
Oh, really?
I had to attend the photo shoot and interview with Luxury Living. You know that. Let's not make this about me, Luke.
It's all about
This is about you and your drinking problem
It's all about
Oh, I don't know, Hannah, darling.
Yesterday you told me you weren't gonna drink the booze. So I told you with a smirk. I messed that up. Say goodbye to the booze. Say goodbye to the booze. That's what I was meant to sing it. McFly is the one who sings that song. Underrated rock band. Go watch them.
What if my drinking problem, as you like to call it, is linked to you?
There's something worth considering.
If we think about it that way, this discussion is about you.
Well, let's talk about it. We're husband and wife.
That was pretty mean of you, leaving me alone to do all the work like that.
You left me alone to do all the work. I was talking to Mrs. McCulloch, followed by fabulous photo shootings from a friend.
You can't use the interview as an excuse either, honey.
Okay.
I was informed the moment your little interview was done.
Your hands.
So, what was it then, What were you doing?
Flirting! Exaggeratingly, darling. I was with Zachary. I was tending the gardens. Just tell him the truth, I was with Zachary.
I was talking with Zachary, the photographer for luxury living.
Look and I are a bit shaky at the moment. I have no reason to tell lies. Exactly. It's not like I am guilty of anything. But as Luke's expression turns, he makes me feel like I am to blame for something. He has a way of making me laid bare with just a look, a stare. Also, is that an earring? That has really struck me when we first met years ago.
That giant Negro?
Wait, whoa! Hey! What did we say about racism?
You were having a secret meeting behind my back and it was with him?
Hey, he was taking photos of me!
What are you implying?
That he's racist.
I'm implying nothing.
Right.
I'm just worried. You know better than to trust those media types, Buttercup.
Really?
He must have been really friendly to occupy your time like that.
He was! He was really friendly. He's a really nice guy, unlike you. You know, if this marriage is gonna last, you better change the way you perceive these colored people, okay?
But all he's looking for is his next big headline.
Really?
He's a photographer for an interior design magazine.
Need I remind you, we have an Irish woman who's also working with interior design.
Doesn't matter. You let one little thing slip, one wrong move, and it'll blow up in the telly in the morning.
Really?
He'll go to his journalist friends to gossip and make a quick quid.
Excuse me? You're the one talking, Mr. Millionaire? His eyes were the first thing I noticed about him. They were like nature, the grass and the trees, the wonderful, breathtaking, beautiful. Now as I look at him, they're nothing but the same shade of green as the bloody damn drink in his hand.
He was a perfect gentleman, Luke. I can't say the same for you as of recent.
Indeed, you need to behave.
Excuse me again? We're talking about you, Hannah.
No, I am pretty sure we were talking about you and your drinking problem, Luke, right?
Hangover forgotten, during the course of this little spat, the man jumps to his feet and seethes. It looks like he's barely stopping himself from throwing the nearest thing he can find.
Oh, it is not a problem. I can stop whenever I want.
Really?
And even if it was, I think you can very well stay out of it, as it only affects my own kidneys or liver or whatever the bloody hell that shite pollutes. Whatever aftermath that occurs because of your little chit-chat with the Negro affects the both of us, however.
Look, Luke, nothing will happen. You have to relax. It was just a friendly chat.
Exactly!
Well, now I think I'm getting jealous.
For goodness sakes, Mr. Millionaire, you're spoiled enough as it is.
Or I would be if it weren't for this damn headache.
Oh dear, you got a headache?
Maybe you should drink more.
Oh!
Maybe.
Supper is spent in silence, with nothing but the occasional sound of silverware. A grand feast has been served. Well, grander than usual anyway, most likely due to Luke's complaints of stress. That looks quite delicious. A platter of native oysters for starters, and a tranche of turbot of purple sprouting, broccoli, lemons and capers, and anchovy sauce for me. Okay, whoever painted or drew the all that food, pat yourselves on the back, because that looks so appetizing. That lemon, just that roasted lemon. I have had plenty of meals in my lifetime where with roasted lemon with those little curves like that. You just squeeze the lemon and just squeeze it all over the fish, and maybe even just eat the lemon. It's it's so good, as well as the vegetables. To finish it all off, black tea and golden syrup sponge pudding with custard. Nice. The anime artists have this thing for making food look irresistible. When our appetites are appeased and the plates are cleared away, Luke stands, kisses me goodnight, and leaves me to stare at my half-empty cup. Lonely in the lull of night, I sit in a house too big and too empty, foreign and unwelcoming. That's a good place to save. Even with its warm tone and homely decor, it feels cold. There is no need for tears, however. I can get through this like every other obstacle I have faced before. This is a minor setback in what I hope will be a long and happy life. Sure. To remind myself that this place for Luke and for our future children fills me with a renewed vigor. Besides, it looks like someone is having a cry already. No! I knew this would happen! I knew this would happen! Okay. Okay. Say your prayers, everybody. That sounds weird. The wailing is far away and muffled. Don't go anywhere near that crying. Yet at the same time, it shakes me to my very core as I hear it, as the suffering is just standing right beside me. This sounds wrong. Okay, so Isabel's gonna escape somehow. I don't like this. I don't like this. But I must keep going. Hearing it sends a chill down my spine and makes my skin prickle with goosebumps. You close your eyes and hope that this is just imagination, girl, but all the while you hear a creature creeping up behind. Why would you do this? No. No!
Hello? Is anybody down there?
Don't freaking respond! I'm curious and concerned, but there's no way I'm going down to a dark and humid underground. I am not going down there. I'm not as enthusiastic as Luke, because it was quite the concierge. However, I cannot bring myself to go to bed with this wreck going on. If just one of the household help, they will surely need some talking. Oh no, she had a supernatural dream where the ghost is going to bounce at her. After all, this wouldn't be the first time I've gone and found one of the maids sobbing their... The maids. The maids. The flipping maids. You know, the maids. As professional as our staff are, they're only human after all. They're only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. 'Cause I'm no prophet of Messiah. You shouldn't go somewhere higher. And they're only human after all. They're only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Anyway, more often than not, it was either Johannes or I who'd calm them down, who'd help them figure out how to go on about things. Unfortunately, I am in no high spirits right now, but so I'm not as wholly benevolent. I'm not opening the hatch! I'm not opening the flipping hatch! Okay. So one choice is a question. That's gonna lead to down this path. Okay, how close are we to completing Hannah's story? We are about just over halfway there or so. Okay, logically we should take this one. I don't know. I'm gonna save it right here. And God willing, we'll pick the right choice. Open the hatch, call them out. Just call them out. I knock 3 times. Hello? Please don't open the door. I just want to get you to stop crying, please. I'm ducking. I am freaking ducking. Waiting for any sort of reply yields me no results, but I've already touched the floor hatch far too many times than what I'd like. Don't open the freaking hatch! I take a deep breath before reaching out again to whoever is inside. Don't! I've learned from experience that people respond better to kindness than threats. Shouting angrily will not help in coaxing them out. Oh my gosh.
You, in the cellar! Do come out!
Okay, so at least... Okay. Dearest God, please help us. Okay.
We don't want Luke waking up and finding you in there, do we? That man would go ballistic thinking someone was trying to steal his precious wine.
Maybe the ghost is just drowning her sorrows, if she can even do that. Still not.
You can have a good cry. Just not in there, yes? Why don't you come out here and we can have a cuppa and you can tell me all about whatever it is you're bawling about?
Don't! With how long am I standing here, however, I am starting to think myself as a fool. Yes! Leave the flipping mansion! Do you not hear that creepy background choir? You know, the one that's going... Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. You know you can't trust a situation when there's a creepy choir just hawing down your throat. I do not want to acknowledge the other feeling I have, especially as the wailing took an eerie turn. Then, flipping, run! The thought of being played that doesn't sit too well with me. I just stop myself from getting too hot-headed as I try one more time.
Now you come out of there! That is an order from the lady of the house, do you hear me? Why, Iota?
I don't want to do this. But the game leaves me no choice. Well, actually, the game did give me a choice, but I just chose the one that made me delay the inevitable the longest. I don't like this. I don't like this. Call them out. Okay. Okay, right. Okay. Okay. I see what I've done here. So, if I just opened the door, that would have led me to seeing the ghost. Ah! Run away! And that would have led to some other difficult topic where I have to make a choice, which would eventually lead to that, would lead to a quick time event, and if I failed, game over. So, I'm gonna live, which is gonna lead to this part here. That's when Hannah starts getting suspicious, and blah. Okay, avoid this path at all costs. Right, okay. We should be good. But I'm still preparing for a jump scare. I might well run all the way to Cardiff. The dread I've been feeling all this time makes itself known as I kneel, unmoving, not even daring to breathe. I don't like this. I don't like this. I can feel my heart pounding against my chest. I can hear it very vividly, girl. Very, very vividly. Okay. But the touch is gone as quickly as it has seized me. The touch? The touch? What touch? I don't like this! I don't like this at all! Okay! Oh my god. Oh! Your hands! Oh! Your hands! Thank God it's company! I need some German Ed Sheeran! I need some hallelujah! You are an angel in the shape of my mum! I need some Galway girl music going on here. Oh.
Apologies, madam, for touching you like that.
Oh, cricket, okay.
You were not responding to my voice, and you looked about ready to wake the whole mansion up.
I'll say, I would have screamed my lungs out if I'd seen the ghost.
I'm sorry. I was getting rather loud, wasn't I?
Yeah, I was getting rather loud as well.
But that crying woman in there, we must do something about her.
Don't tell me. He says, what crying woman? He grows silent for a moment, and he still looks concerned. At least I'd like to interpret it as a concern, given how stoic our head butler usually is. Or rather, it must have been concern as he takes off a glove and presses the back of his hand with my forehead before his worrisome inquiry.
I beg your pardon. What crying woman?
Called it.
Are you feeling well, madam?
I don't know. I don't think I feel so good.
In the cellar? Can't you hear her?
Madam, Hannah, no one is down there.
What?
The cellar is locked. Only Luke and I have duplicates of the keys.
Oh. Well. Wait a minute. If Hannah didn't have the keys, then this event here would not have happened, would it?
Nobody is down there.
I stare at him in disbelief. But when I listen once more, I hear no crying. Tugging at the hatch for good measure proves his words to be true, too. The thing won't budge unless I add a key, short of using power tools on it.
Perhaps it is time for you to go to bed, madam. You are simply tired and hearing things, a perfectly normal human experience. But if you are still experiencing auditory hallucinations in the morning, you are free to consult with me.
Thank you, Johannes. Please do me a favor and just guard that hatch. That way the ghost will never haunt us again. There's a cold feeling in the pit of my stomach as he helps me up to my feet. When he says what he makes sense, and who am I to question someone who used to be a doctor? I'm just tired, that's it. Long day of moving, the interview, dealing with Luke, that has all drained me of any proper sense.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I just need some sleep, that's all.
Yes, you do.
Of course I'm right.
Of course you're right. I'm Johannes, the butler.
Go on then. Gute Nacht.
Gute Nacht.
Good night, Johannes. Good night, house.
Good night, Anna. P.S. Help me. It's just fatigue. That's what I keep telling myself, although I can't ignore the strange feeling in my gut. Either there is something wrong with this house, or there is something wrong with my head. Sleep will be elusive tonight. October 28th, Friday. Luke is already gone by the time I rise. There isn't a single hide nor hair of him to be found, and trying to call him in this mobile is a bust, and only goes straight to his voicemail. There's twice in a row he's gone to me. And for him to disappear today, of all days, is every bit as upsetting because of what's to come. The morning is once again filled with a whirlwind of activity. Fortunately, I am much more refreshed as I took a break from my responsibilities. I haven't the faintest clue where Luke was yesterday. Today is going to be a busy day, although unlike Wednesday, the master of the house isn't here right now, absent once again from his duties. Hopefully, he'll be back in time for the party. This is our house, after all. And a grand housewarming party for the wonderful right mansion on the right occasion. Every person of importance from Luxburn is invited, and there will be a few guests flying in as well. Of course, there will be some people from the media, including Zach, hopefully, along with friends and acquaintances who are made no less important regardless of their status in society. Hooray! Ah, Miss McCulloch. Marianne and I discussed business and last-minute touches to the house before finalizing everything. Not that there is much change from our original plans. Bar any huge additions to the property itself, the mansion is nearly 100% complete.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
That's the way McCulloch does it.
Well, I can't take all the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the right mansion.
At the right time. Anyway.
There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
As far as we know, he has no complaints about the second bedroom. Luke and I have had a small tiff about making the second bedroom into a child's playroom. Oh, wait, yes, you have. Which I insisted is completely practical. In the end, I had to be acquisitive. Squirrel. He had to squirrel. I didn't offer him much of a choice in the matter. I even bought this wonderful wooden crib from the antique store yesterday, including some toys. Yay! Just in case anyone brings their baby, of course. Or the David Bowie version about the baby. Besides, we have little need for actual guest rooms. We hardly have guests who spend the night. Unless you talk about the ghost. If we absolutely have to, we often choose to foot the bill for their visit on one of our 4 hotels instead, always at Luke's own insistence. And on the off chance that we actually let someone stay, the bedroom in the opposite wing is still up to the task.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
No, I did not agree to him having a helipad. Oh, you're missing out. The ghost is coming! Get to the chopper!
All right, then. Well, do we have any other concerns? Anything we need to put on our agenda before the party commences?
Encourage Zach not to be racist?
No, I don't think so.
I've just recommended one. Have Zach not be... have Luke not be racist towards Zach.
Not unless Luke has anything else to say.
Hannah, you should take charge. You own this mansion too, you know.
Is he around then? It'd be best if we can note down his request right away, considering the scope of his usual ones.
Alright. Around? Luke! Luke! Nope. Where is he? Who knows where? I don't.
No, he's not around.
Apparently not. She didn't have to point out the obvious now, did she? After 7 long years, I've already gotten used to him. I should be by now. Let me just save that. Just not going to experience that trauma again. Still not, apparently.
But don't you have a party?
That we do. I want nothing more than to complain, to whinge about how unfair this is. However, airing out one's dirty laundry is simply taboo among high society. To do so will make you a ripe target for the next dinner party chit-chat. Vultures, the lot of them, really. Or Skeksis, maybe? Or most of them, at least. There are always good ones like Rochelle Lee. And put your trust in the wrong person, you'll find yourself eagerly picked apart.
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting. He's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
Perhaps I am being a bit too rash, a bit too hot-headed in divulging details. But I thought myself clever with the plan to dress it up as gossip. Marianne's raised brow makes me unsure whether she is interested or not. Although she does make things better if she had no interest and therefore had no intent to utilize whatever I might say to her.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it? A rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful.
Oh dear.
The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband. But it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark.
Romances are supposed to improve with age, not decline.
What do you think?
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...?
Yeah, be honest. I don't know. Yeah, be honest.
Be honest with me, Marianne. I don't need someone to sugarcoat it.
Indeed.
I'm not some fragile thing that I'm just going to break down at the slightest thing.
She hesitates, taking a sip of her coffee, as I stare into my own cup of tea. The silence stretches on, and I am almost believe that she will never answer my question. I suppose that I shouldn't blame her, putting her in a tight spot like this. Her hesitation is understandable, though I loathe to admit it. She simply wants this whole thing to stay professional. We are business ladies, after all. Highly flirtatious business ladies. But then she speaks.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
It is. It's my turn to hesitate now. Yeah, that moment when you're got guilty, but then you hesitate. That happens. I really didn't expect such a straightforward question. Yeah, sadly, not everything's straightforward. And to get to the heart of the matter, I suppose I'm not as clever as I'd like to think. Or is it really that bad that an outsider can see a little marital problems? Surely we aren't that obvious, are we? We put up the act of a perfect couple for years. Although it hadn't always been an act. Oh, that's a blessing then. Marianne is just more keen than the average person, of course. I think we're forming a trusty friendship here. It is a necessity to her career, but she's been working so closely with us, working on the mansion. Yes, that's it.
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else.
Indeed.
Someone who won't even give him the time of the day.
Indeed.
Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself.
You know what? Maybe we do need time apart.
Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone.
Yeah, that's a problem with marriage that a lot of people face. They seem to think that when you get married, all your problems will be over. They aren't. Arguably, there's more problems. You see, the thing about marriages is that you gotta work to earn these marriages. Because if you don't, it's gonna crumble apart. Marriage isn't gonna solve everything. Indeed. Believe me, there is something far greater and far more hopeful. There's a relationship that you can have that's far greater than marriage. But I won't go into any more details now.
That's just my 2 pence worth, of course.
Of course.
So you're saying they should divorce?
Wait, no.
Nothing as drastic as that. If they're afraid that it might lead to just that, then maybe that is what's meant to happen in the first place. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives.
Indeed.
But it's just a short hiatus is all.
True.
Or, couples therapy?
Yeah, find a therapist.
Look, I'm really not the best person to ask about relationships. So grain of salt and all that.
Yeah, thanks, Miss McCulloch. I'll consider the therapist. She trails off, having said her piece, and leaves nothing but the smell of coffee and Earl Grey between us. Nice. There is a calm despite the nature of what has just been discussed. To say that her words make me start to think is an understatement. To say that I'm not considering her advice is a lie. And to say that this might just be the calm before the storm is a possibility. Others have had shorter marriages, yes, but plenty have celebrated long and happy ones as well. In fact, let me tell you a fun fact. Marriages get better and better the older you get. My own parents celebrated their choral anniversary before they passed away. Ah, rest in the heavens. But 7 years? So far. You never know. This could be 70 years. You never know. 7 years isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Not yet. Don't speak too soon. It isn't a whole lot of time to see what and where our relationship can bring us. And at the same time, 7 years. Well, it hasn't been entirely made up of unhappy years, has it? It won't last forever, and it's not supposed to anyway. I just dread the thought that it might last for a very long time. I dread the thought of that these small spats, these little disagreements will turn into a all-out resentment. You gotta find a way through it. The idea that we will grow to hate each other with every fiber of our being scares me. Hating is no good. It's no good. I can't even pinpoint the exact moment when our blissful union turned sour. When did he start to seek other women, lacking any ulterior motives? When did we start to cooperate only to suit our materialistic greed and attention-seeking ways? What have we learned, kids? Materialism sucks and is inconsistent. Money and success, fame and glamour, are those the real reasons we all stay together? There's a cough before Marianne clears her throat. I must have been quiet for so long, and I have moved to apologize where she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure of how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffle occurs as we decide whether to sit back or not.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
Indeed.
You won't be attending the party.
Ah,
Oh, you really must, Marianne.
she's a busy woman.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies.
Ah, it's alright, Miss McCulloch. You're busy. We understand.
Busy, busy, busy.
Yep, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you.
Busy. Always whizzing in a rich man's mansion.
You need to say hello to the Lees, at least.
Bruce Lee?
If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
If I never...
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
You are excused.
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive.
Wait, the party started?
Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
The party started? I thought it was happening in the evening. The scene outside the parlour is a great organised mess. Aside from our own household help, we hired the service of the temp agency, which provides staff for Wright Enterprise in the hospitality sector. Even our very skilled staff cannot undertake a party of this size on their own. Waiters, busy boys, hostesses, and their staff captains move about in droves, carrying crockery and silverware good for several dozen people and then some. Chefs and bartenders tail after Johannes, and looking like scared little children as he escorts them to the kitchen into the wine cellar to pursue the stocks to select what can be served at the party and what can be used for cooking.
Schnell! We have a lot to do, and I believe we did not hire snails. Snails are for the dishes.
A string quartet readies up to play for the evening, tuning their instruments as they fill the air with idle chatter. Floral decor, worth Thousands fill vases, wreaths, and baskets, while petals are scattered along the driveway up front. Ooh, would you look at that? Followed by a simple cake, with a 5-tier white chiffon one, with the white chocolate mousse, fresh berries, and a light dusting of edible gold leaf. Stop it, I'm saving the game here. But despite the fact that I told Marianne how I will attend all this, I find myself unable to focus or care for any of it. I still have our discussion running in my mind, and looking at all this, I only see Luke everywhere. These are all the grand things that Luke wanted to have for the party. I just wanted a small, elegant, and simple gathering with only a select few invited, namely the people who I would actually trust to enter my home. I do not want any bloody politicians or paparazzi in here, no matter how used I am to catering them.
At least be here for your party. Damn it, Luke.
The entire thing screamed, Luke Wright. I just turned my head to Luke Wright. But I can't help myself but add another question to my growing list of queries. When did I lose myself? It's always about him nowadays, isn't it? What about Hannah Wright? What about Hannah Evans? What about us? Do you? I used to be my own woman who made her own name, her own career, her own decisions. Sure, I was already the social butterfly that I still am today, you flatty little devil, you. But it wasn't all empty, shallow gossip and sitting pretty. I also lauded for my knowledge and talent. Talent? Finance manager wasn't just handed to me just because my father owned the company. I'd insisted that I start at the bottom so I could work my way to the top and prove myself. And I did. I worked numbers, managed budgets, money, accounts, analyzing the competition, market trends. There was the calculation of financial risk, cost reduction opportunities, auditor, liaison, and public relations supervision of staff. And well, I generally had a huge slew of responsibilities, which I managed to handle quite well. No need to brag. Admittedly, I was already quite the attention seeker even back then, having dedicated most of my youth craving for my parents' approval. Failing that, I turned to others, looking for praise from anyone who would give it, however fleeting it all was. And Luke, the way he looked at me, the way he watched me, and took a genuine interest. He had me disgustingly obsessed since day one, hasn't he? He saw me for me, Hannah Evans, with both my faults and my achievements. A man who didn't treat me like some damsel in distress or some prize to be won. I remember the nights before we were married when we talked about everything and anything, from big things like business, society, philosophy. Ooh, now that's deep. To little things such as what we had for breakfast or whether we liked cats or dogs and more. Love is in the little things. And little things often affect the big things. Although I must say philosophy is really, really important. We both prefer dogs. Dog people. I think that's a good combination. Nowadays, I'm just Luke Wright's wife. ... Bloop. It's mostly my fault, isn't it? Maybe I should have been more dedicated. They told me that husbands preferred wives who are docile and subordinate. Pardon? A woman who'll always be there for him, yet would never outshine him in all aspects, except for beauty. Really? A wife needs to be at home and attend to his needs, to have children, and take care of them in their absence. Well, some people would have agreed with you about 50 or so years ago. Note to self, I am recording this in 2019. They said I have no business working anymore after I was married. I can blame society. But I listened. Before I call further into this introspective pit of self-loathing, someone calls for my attention.
The guests have arrived, madam.
Thank you, your Hans. No, danke, your Hans.
And Luke?
Running a bit late, I'm afraid.
Of course.
Late for his own party. That man, I swear. He's probably looking to make a dramatic entrance, knowing him.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise us.
Open the doors, then. We mustn't hurry.
Welcome, one and all. Cars line up the driveway, peppering the front of the mansion with vehicles of every kind. Grand Tourers, supercars, even the odd high-end muscle car too. Convertibles, grand saloons, and other luxury cars can be seen, being parked by valets. A handful of cabs drive off, possibly for those who thought it's too troublesome to bring their own cars. There are at least 2 different media vans as well. They're all here for what may be considered the biggest event of the year of Luxburn. So far. Who knows what we'll plan for the winter holidays? Bit Christmas extravaganza?
Welcome everyone.
Welcome, one and all!
Please, make yourselves at home.
Thank you, we'll watch out for the ghost. Some of the guests idle, enjoying the warm if not strange sunshine we are experiencing before gloomy skies inevitably return. They greet acquaintances and friends with warm smiles, others less so. From where I stand, I can see the hierarchy of power that binds these individuals here, whether they're through convenience or necessity. However, there are also few who are not here to further cement their current place in high society. Ah, there's the Ashton, such as the young man with his oriental air, ignorant of the looks he receives from women and men alike.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Man from the Orient. Sorry. Or that rose-haired woman, talking on her phone while she looks unsure of why she is here exactly.
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom.
Nice detail there.
Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
Oh, hi, Mark. I see Zachary, the photographer, as well. He talks to a few of the other media crew with an air of familiarity.
I was just here a few days ago, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the inside is huge, but the staff are pretty helpful if you get lost.
Indeed. And then there are the people like the chief inspector, who eerily looks like the priest who blessed the mansion. People who I am never too sure about. People who stand on the border between being suspicious and being trustworthy.
Thank you for the invite, Anna.
You're welcome?
Husband still missing, I see?
Yeah, husband's still Hey, don't get any ideas!
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee.
Indeed.
The doctors again?
She told me she'll just be in the gardens. I bet she's lying and that she's somewhere around mingling, gossiping with the other ladies.
Oh dear.
It's no offense, but that seems to be all you ladies do at these parties.
Yeah, the harsh but true, I suppose.
And aren't you gossiping right now?
Oh!
Yes, well, what about Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
Whoa, hey, whoa!
He's around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing.
Don't get any dirty ideas, sir. Luke is Hannah's husband.
Don't tell me, let me guess. He's finally drunken himself to death and not wanting a scandal, you've hidden his body.
No, but that's a possibility.
I was wanting to give this housewarming gift to him personally, too. It's a plate that holds a wine glass so he can stop killing himself with liquid lunches.
I would probably have recommended... Oh, what do you call it? How about ginger beer?
Looks like it's too late for that.
Nothing like that. Besides, this is a hardly polite conversation.
Indeed. Leave at once.
Oh, relax. I'm just trying to be cheeky to lighten the mood. It's not like I want Luke dead.
You're not helping.
The man doesn't serve dodgy plonk like the others when I visit, and he pays his respects well enough. I could use a glass of wine or 3, actually. Rochelle's been in a horrid mood. Threw her stilettos at me the other day and almost took an eye out.
Yeesh.
Not sure if this is how it usually goes, but I blame the pregnancy.
Oh dear.
I wouldn't know, would I?
Still no plans for a baby? Well, I guess that's for the best. If it's this bad now, I can't even imagine how bad it'll be when that little baby bump becomes huge.
Have I mentioned how I don't trust him, no matter how hard I try to do so? At least he brought a gift, I suppose.
Why don't you just go inside and have some wine, Lee?
Yeah, just move away from us, please. Thank you, Lee.
Think I will, thanks.
Have a good day, Officer Lee. Greetings, such as these carry on as the guests continue to trickle in. Whether we have short conversations or merely shake hands and nod heads, I make sure to attend and welcome each of them. As the first hour passes by, the rest of the stragglers and I adjourn to the ball. Yeah, someone said. In which case, I think I'll just have to end the episode here. So, hello! Yes, I'll just have to end it. Fine, thanks! I'm just gonna have to end this episode here now. So, I think we made some good progress, and let the party begin. Join the party next time. ScotMaiar signing out.